I'm Deborah Awili.
I'm Elias Awili.
And we are OnPeople. Today's episode of OnPeople is a first of its kind because we're featuring two guests. And heads up, they're a powerhouse couple. They're both in the product world and they're shaping Africa's fintech and design space. One of them is a product and operations leader that's driving growth in digital banking, lending, and cross-border payments, currently leading operations at Moniepoint. The other is a seasoned product design leader, educator, and founding partner at Cora, and mentoring the next wave of creatives. Together, they bring sharp insights on building impactful products, scaling teams, and balancing ambition with personal life. We present to you Deborah and Elias Awili.
Welcome to OnPeople.
Nice to have you guys here.
Thank you. No.
Yes. So we know that you both are on different sides of the production creation spectrum, right? The product creation spectrum. Mm-hmm. Tell us about how you met. How did you meet?
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
So we met at Zone Tech Park.
Yes.
At the time, I was the product designer there. I think the only product designer at the time. Just doing my regular stuff, creating
Clearly.
Creative stuff, and just building out products. Yeah. And then I think there was a day. Normally, there's this process of introducing everybody or new people, to the team. So she came around.
She was new.
She was new.
Okay.
She was new. I think she came a couple of months, or I think almost a year after I came.
Okay.
Yeah. So they introduced her. There was nothing there, obviously. and
Deborah doesn't seem to agree with that. Deborah doesn't seem to agree with it. Okay, but she would tell it from her own point of view. Fantastic.
There's not supposed to be
anything there.
Oh, okay. But over time, we get to know each other. We got to work well. It was mostly purely work. And I think she just has a very good way of executing.
That's lovely. It's a good way to.
That has been one consistent thing about her. Give or take a few months later, right? Then we had more conversations, and we're here.
And the rest
is history. It's history. So Deborah, there was a bit of what? When Elias was speaking. What is it from your own point?
Well, it's actually correct.
Okay.
Right? So the air was like, why was it not anything? Like,
okay.
Why was it, like, why did you have something at
first?
The time?
Yeah.
But is actually correct, because when I came, so it was an office full of men. Like I was the only lady on the team at the time. Like so the team.
So what company was it in Zone Tech Park? It was
the product.
The product. Okay.
Team,
Okay.
Like,
okay.
I'll say the tech team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So workforce, was it work?
Yes.
Work. Okay.
Workforce
It's a parent group, and then they're different. Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, and when I walked in, it was a very small office with guys, amazing guys, by the way. And I walked in, and everybody raised their heads.
I knew she was going to tell this story.
Only this guy here by my side.
Fantastic, Elias. I knew that there was more to this. Clearly.
Jeez, I don't know why I caused that, but for some weird reasons, I caused. As a lady, when you walk into your room, you expect that the world will stand still.
My goodness.
You be top heads, right?
Exactly. I love it. I love the honesty. His head did not even come up. Don't turn or roll.
And so that caught my attention at the time, but I didn't really read anything into it. The CTO at the time did the introduction. I started working, and we started working together. I was the product manager. He was a product designer.
And we just became like, I can't really pinpoint at what point we moved from just being employees to friends and to what we are right now. Like, it just flowed seamlessly. And like I said, like, we became friends from being colleagues, and the rest is history.
Awesome. Awesome. That was nice.
So not raising my head worked, right?
So I think Elias, you could start a masterclass on this, right? And just call it "Don't raise your head." Don't raise your head too quickly.
I'm not sure many companies will like
that. A master. Lovely. Okay. So just I mean, it's always nice to hear, people's, call it meet cute stories, right? And I don't know why it always sounds different when you hear it from two sides, but I think yours complemented both of you equally as well. But just looking at what you do, you were going through your profile, I can see that you both studied different things in uni compared to where you're working in now. And I know that that's something that happens across the world, especially in Nigeria, because people go into uni in Nigeria and they go in for fishery, and there's not much they're doing with it. They stand then they're bankers and they're bank managers. Exactly. So it'll be nice to hear your transition journey, both of you. How did you navigate that? What skills did you have to put in? What was the design? It'll be nice. Elias, we can start with you, because you went from electrical engineering and now you're in product design. Yes. Okay.
I think looking back, one thing has always been constant along the way, and I've always been a very observant person. My studying elect was more of, at the time, it was the only course I saw that kind of allowed me to be able to do everything I thought I wanted to do. Right. So it was a very interesting journey in uni, if I'm being very honest. I think the best part of my uni years were my spillover years.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
I actually had an extra semester, but that was when I was able to do something I really was super interested in. That was artificial neural networks.
Which is very relevant.
All right, but what that period helped me to discover was that creative side. I mean, it's not directly related to creativity, but there was a kind of, trigger at that point in time. And then I got very interested in pursuing creative professional career. And eventually I see that's going to blend into my AI or science part of things
as well.
But like I said, something that was very constant all through my development, even up until now, was that being very observant. And I usually had this challenge of expressing myself. So initially, I think design was one way for me to express myself.
Oh, I see.
Right?
It was an outlet.
It was an outlet for me. So everything just kind of fell into the right place over time. And I think my first creative job was graphic design.
Yes.
Obviously, you usually start with that. Design, very static designing and then eventually moved into more dynamic side of design, which is product design.
Yes.
So it's till today, I still feel like it's very connected. I don't really know where it connects, but the entire journey just made sense when I look back. From even before uni days, where I was my mom always taught us how to create things, build computers with paper. We've had
your mom?
She studied interior design
in Russia.
Oh,
in Russia.
So she kind of had this thing where we had we just made do with what we had in the house, built stuff out, made our own fun.
Yes.
We created our own toys. There are times when we wanted to actually create like an aeroplane, wanted to make hydrogen in the kitchen.
Oh my goodness. I love this childhood. I love your childhood. The house, oh goodness. Oh, maybe, yes. Safety first.
My mom lost a lot of things.
Oh, wow.
From that whole creative thing, spilled into our uni days where we went to do more technical work. And then after that, we moved into like design and engineering. And it's still very related.
Yeah.
So that's been most of it.
So I think so first of all, just shout out to your mom.
Yes.
You know, I love moms
Yes.
that are very hands-on, very practical,
yes.
and I think her own education and experience, you know,
It helped her.
it helped her help you,
Yeah.
not run down the house, but it helped her help you. So yeah, I like that. But
Yes.
okay, I was going to move over to Deborah as well, because yours is also an interesting move, right? So from mass communications to product management. Yeah, so do you want to share that journey and what skills or what pushed, what influenced, what shaped?
Yeah. No, I wish you had asked me first. I feel like a more scattered person.
It's okay. That's how I was too.
Yeah. So the truth is, growing up, I think I was a very. I used to tell you that. I think I was a very. What's the word now? I didn't think I was a serious person growing up. Let me say.
You're not supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know how people will have plans for their lives, right? No, why do you have
Future ambition.
That's why I said no, not that. No, but even if they say that was it, look at you now. You should say, look at me now. Look at me now.
So at the time, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted, but I know what I did not want.
Okay.
So when I was met with what I did not want,
Yes.
I was like, oh no, this is not it. We'll try another path. So in terms of my journey, so yeah, I studied mass communication, right?
Yes.
Which was even not supposed to be,
Really?
right? The goal was to study law.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like an advocate there. Like I loved justice, right?
You still do, right?
I still
Yeah.
do actually.
Yeah.
I don't like when people are taken for granted.
Okay.
And in a way, that actually ties into our like journey. Funny enough,
Oh.
I don't like when people are taken for granted. I won't say I love to argue, but I love to make my point known. And I thought I would study law, but I didn't get
Admission.
What I got there was mass communication, and I was like, oh, we'll go with it. It's anything to leave the house at this point.
At
right?
this point,
Even though
yeah.
I got admission for law so my second choice of university was Delsu. So I grew up in Delta State. I applied to Uniben and Delsu.
Yes.
So again, in the spirit of knowing what I don't want, I knew I did not want to study in a state university.
Okay.
So I was like, even though I got admission for law in Delsu, I'm not going.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Uniben.
Uniben, so federal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And I got into school, did mass communication. I don't know if I won't say it was like one of my best moments, but I went with the flow. Right? So I'm one person that knows how to adjust. It might not necessarily be what I wanted, but with time, like I'll just, I'll get interested. And I enjoyed it, right? I did my internships. I think the peak for me was when I did my internship at AIT Abuja, and I enjoyed every bit of it, doing Vox Pop, being in front of the camera, doing interviews. So I really thought I was going to work, in a media house. I had my life planned out.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, after school, I'll come back here. I would either apply to channels or any of the big media houses. And, I would just grow my career from then. And then NYC, brought me to Lagos.
Okay.
And I had to stay with my sister. And, I was with her and we were looking for a placement. NYC had posted me to one school at Educator, and I had to just beg them to reject me because it's not me that I would not be commuting from Ikota there to Ikorodu. It was it was just 2 ends of Lagos. So they finally gave me the rejection and all. So I was really scouted for a placement. And my sister said, no, you're staying with me. You would need to be responsible for yourself.
Wow.
Media houses don't pay. So I'm not going to let you work in the media house. Change that dream of yours.
Yours now. Oh my goodness.
Just kill it.
Kill it.
But I would say in a way it a good thing in a way because I found my way into IT consulting. So that was my first exposure to tech. I didn't have any experience
before.
I'd never thought about it. Like I just knew that I just felt like the world revolved around the media.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I know how to adjust right. My sister, got me this placement at it was Triversa then.
Okay.
So that was like my first exposure to the IT consulting space.
World, yeah.
And I started off as an admin, being what they call them, the NYC. What do you call
copper.
Core member, yeah. And 3 months down the line, my boss was like, "Oh, this girl is so smart to be sitting behind the desk and doing that. Move up to project management." And I started like mirroring or working with the project manager then. Okay. And I worked with her for about like 3-4 months as a project coordinator. And then she resigned, and I was. And
next thing,
you're thrust into the role.
Exactly, so I became the project manager, managing projects for Access Bank, for NDIC, for FCMB. Wow. So I was in that role for about 2 years.
Wow.
And I just knew that. So I love growth. I don't like feeling stuck. And I was like, there's something out there for me. What's the next big thing? And so my friend there, our friend, Vincent, was working at Zone Tech Park, right? And I just told him that I need a new job. I need to move up from here, both salary wise and even career wise. And he was like, "Oh, send me your CV." I sent my CV, and the role was product management. Now there's a difference between project and I didn't know I did. So you see why I say that sometimes I can be serious. I didn't know at
your learning curve.
Yeah, and I just I went for the interview and surprisingly I passed. I was like,
I'm glad that you didn't know. Because if you had known, you may have said this isn't for me.
Let's stay back.
Yeah. No, they actually knew that I didn't have the experience in product management.
No, I'm saying you wouldn't even have applied. You'd have been like,
true,
no.
True. And I think the key thing there was, when the CTO at the time, he knew I wasn't really qualified for the role, but he asked, "Are you willing to learn?" Right? And I said, "Anything, just give me the right now. I'm willing to jump on anything." And I had to learn on the job, and just grow from there. So I won't say that I had a planned, defined path. I just stumbled on the path. The goal was never to be in IT, right? The goal was to actually to work in a media house, to be on TV. Funny enough, to be on TV.
To be on TV.
That was the goal for me at the time because I'd studied mass communication. But I think God just had bigger plans.
Definitely.
And I don't regret walking
on
the
path
at all. I'm so happy I did because look at it right now. The world is literally going. It's all tech, right?
Yeah, it is.
Even you have to at least have some amount of knowledge of technology to be able to drive your business forward.
Yeah.
So it's just been that's how I literally just delved into that role. It wasn't
fantastic.
Anything planned. I wasn't looking for anything basically. I just wanted growth and money.
And then you also knew what you didn't want.
You didn't want. Yeah. But I like just listening to you both. I like the fact that I can hear lots of going with the flow. So even when you had the spillover year, you're right, you just allowed it and you somehow, that was what you said kind of was a light bulb moment for you. Yeah. And I love how you've just gone with the flow and you've listened to people because you could easily have fought back with your sister. You may have been right. But you listened to her and you're like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't just, cap myself in that particular industry. And look at you now. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
That's so good. I draw from everything that you both have said. I've had a lot of observation, stay aware, pay attention to your environment, draw out the learnings that you can. I also had adaptability, It will not always be what you want, but as you go on, you should make adjustments and adapt. I also pulled out experiential learnings from your ability to learn from the things that you're doing. Interesting how that was a key theme in our last conversation with our last guest as well. So you both have grown into your roles as product designer, and you now lead teams. You even teach other people how to do what you have mastered to do, right? So what's the biggest mindset shift that you have had to make moving from where you were to designing products and managing them up until the point where you're now leading other people? And on the flip side as well, what's the most important skills for learners, people who want to veer into what you're now doing? What's the most important skill?
So I think I'll say curiosity. You need to be curious to learn. And I think that's what has even, for the people that I have felt drawn to mentor.
Okay.
I want to know how curious you are. I want to know how interested you are, because when you're not interested, trust me, there is no, people will say, oh, passion, interest is actually underrated.
Yes.
Like people are actually underrate the power of being interested in something. To just digress a bit, right? I was listening to a message this morning, and it was talking about priority. Like most of us have misplaced priority, and that's because of our interest, right? So for me, it's curiosity, it's interest. If I'm interested in doing XYZ, it has to show. Like you can't hide interest.
Yeah.
You can't fake it either. And for me, that has made me access opportunities that I've accessed, in the past. Applying for that job, I had to show interest. I had to show that I was fully interested. I may not know everything, but I was willing to grow. I was willing to learn. I showed interest by showing up, right, for the interview. The interview wasn't it was pre-COVID, right? So it wasn't like an easy task, moving from the island to the mainland. Every day to even for the work itself. I was living on the island then. Workforce group was at Bagada. I had to be up at 5, to be at the office, just because I want to beat traffic. So interest. So it cascades basically into every aspect. You see it. So I think that's like the major ingredient for me: curiosity, being interested, and showing that you're interested as well, and also being willing to learn and say you do not know certain things. Like you shouldn't be the smartest one in the room, or you shouldn't. Just be willing to learn. I've learned throughout my journey. I've learned to keep quiet and listen, even from people. Like people might say, "Oh, you're the senior person," and you're letting the junior person speak. I enjoy letting that junior person actually be on this, be in the limelight. Like let me even learn one or two things. Like when I interact with some people that have come to me for mentorship, or they want to just work with me, and they come and they're like, "Oh, my boss, we're looking up to you," and I'm like, no, this relationship it is going to be very mutual. I don't know everything. I also want to learn from you, and I also want to there are one or two things that I'm pretty sure I 100% know I don't know, right? And so I want to hear you speak. I want to hear you share. I want to hear you share what you know. Don't expect me to feed you with everything. And it's not because I don't want you to just keep drawing, or I don't want you to keep drawing from me. It's because I also want to learn, right? So I think, to just summarize, for me, it's curiosity, it's interest, and the willingness to learn from anybody. You don't have to be the smartest in the room.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. For me, it's this one thing that I've learned, and I'm getting to learn even better. I think it is staying conscious of your seasons. How I would explain that is everything has a season, all right? One thing that we've been able to identify as something that helps us grow is we always know when it's like a season is over and something is about to happen next. All right. If we try everything to break out of that season before it's over, we're likely to lose a lot. All right. So one thing that we've also learned together and individually is that there are times when we are to wait, all right, and explore that whole part of that season.
Yes.
And then when we're done with that, there'll be signs to know that it's the same way like rainy season, for example. You begin to smell the rain. You begin to see signs that something is about to change. And I think that it's important for people to know how to understand their own seasons and know when it's time to grow or when it's time to stay and learn. Right. For me, and we can, like I said, we complement each other. I'm a very patient person, and she's a very driven person. So in a way, she's the kind of person she's the kind of person that pushes us to move or to go or to try something else, or me to like get on a new level on something we're trying to explore. And I'm the person that says, you know what, I have not gotten that yet, so how about we stay and learn. You know, so we just know how to balance that, and with time we've seen it help us like make the most of the season before we move on to the next one. So for anybody who is learning, whether it's a tech related skill, whether it's business, whatever it is, management, I think it's very important to know when you're supposed to stay and learn and when it's time to move to the next thing.
Yeah. I also want to just add something, maybe not as a counterfeit, but more like, I agree with you, but I think it's also important to recognize opportunities. The truth is that you might not feel ready for that opportunity. Like for the opportunities or my growth stage or the phases I've gotten into, I was never ready for them. I don't know if it was premature, but I really do not care. I learned what I needed to learn and I moved on. So for me, like, if someone should bring an opportunity my way, whether I'm ready or not, and it's something that I recognize that will be beneficial to me, it's something I'm interested in, yes, I would actually like go for it, and I will learn on the job. I will learn on that opportunity, you know. So just to say that you need to also balance understanding your season and also recognizing opportunities.
When to jump.
When to make that leap.
That's so true. What you guys have shared is so insightful, you know, because I know that if you listen to a lot of CEOs, C-suite people, especially men, they'll tell you that they jumped into roles without even fully growing into it. So they grew into the role while they wore the shoes, right? It was not their size, it was an oversized shoe, but their feet grew into the role literally. So, But I also think that knowing the season, I mean, I wish I could get into the details of how you know when a season is over versus when you should still stay and learn. But let's move on.
So I think, what I was going to ask after the next question was going to be very similar to what you've shared, right? It was on work styles. I wanted you both to describe his work style, you know, either one word or one phrase, and I wanted, and why. And then I wanted you, Elias, to describe Deborah's work style as well. There I like that. Set up. You know.
If I was to describe it in one word, and I'll explain for that, the word is move.
Move. I like it.
That's her mantra.
It's similar to the driven that you said earlier, so I wanted to say, okay, move.
I so appreciate that because, like I said, I'm usually the behind the scene person, so I like to take my time. Right? But I've seen her work on teams and become the driving force for those teams very subtly, all right? Because she's very result driven, right? Not to ignore the process of getting the result, but to ensure that whatever you're doing, we're making a result. There is some sort of effect it has on the result, right? So. And even personally too, because we do times for some time we do some planning, we do some working around and all of that. And the project that we have together, she's the driving force.
She's the drive.
Right. So
wow.
So she just knows how to push you to. She may not know how to get it done, all right, but she knows how to add the fuel.
Ginger.
Yes.
Hype woman.
Anybody that works with her knows that you can't slack.
Generator. There's so many words.
Wow.
You can't slack.
I hope it's
not that pass, not that one that you pull. You're the nice one that you just turn a key to and it just off. Not that one that you're strong. Oh, that is
that's really how it works now.
Wow. That is a lovely way to be described.
Yes,
wow. This is when you say washing, this is when your husband washes you. It's sweet, so it's different. Wow. Awesome. So over to you now, Deborah. No pressure.
Yeah, so for him, I'll say, you said one word, but I have 2 words for him actually. I'll say detailed oriented and excellent. He's excellent at what he does. I don't know how he does it, but I'm like, this guy, please cut for support. He's excellent. And the funny thing is, he doesn't even know. And I'm like, do you know what you have? Hey, God.
Wow, it's
just
really a high
allow
floor,
me
man.
broadcast you, please.
Amplifier.
I'm telling you, like he's super excellent. He's super excellent at what he does, and I can understand why, because he's detailed. Like he's so detailed at what he does, and probably that explains why he's the type of person that will take his time to do something, right? Like you can't even be mad at him when the job finally gets done, because it will be worth the wait at the end of the day. It will be worth the okay, even though you have delayed though, but this is great. This is great, and I love our balance, because some projects will require, take your time and be very detailed, right? Some projects would require you to, we'll figure out this process later. Let's put our head inside and just get moving. Especially projects that are time bound and very time sensitive. Basically, because some things would require, even though the details are important, but some things require that you actually meet up with the deadline first. So there's a word for it, something over perfection.
Progress
over perfection. So I think those 2 words for him actually. He's super detailed.
So your progress and his perfection.
Yes,
he's
actually perfection. I can't even think that from him.
I love it.
Yeah, it's actually perfect.
So it's nice to see how well you both complement each other. Because when you've had an opportunity to work together, maybe not in the same team, but at least work in the same company, for instance, and you've also had an opportunity to work together with your life and your and so it's so to have someone just validate you the way you've both validated each other. It's some people's dream. People's dream. It's amazing to see. Okay. Wow.
Okay. So moving on from progress and perfection, right? What is your leadership style, especially in view of leading teams? There's skills required to make teams work that's different from every other thing that you guys have described, and with the peculiarities of the time in remote settings where you're working with people who are not under your immediate line of sight, right? How do you get people to do what they should do?
Let me go with that. I just, on the 3rd of September, was my 7th year at my company.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. I took some time that day to reflect over my the achievements, my style of getting what I call the design culture out there. And it was really good. It was a good time to really think back. And one thing I learned, and one thing I've heard my team members also share with me is, and my style of leadership is very support oriented, right? Meaning that I think it's also a personality thing. I don't really force things down people's throat, all right? However, I can show you what should be, All right, so I like to be very exemplary.
Okay.
It's how I tell people to do stuff. I show like the design, for example, or I show what we want to get done. All right, and then they figure out how to do it that way.
Okay.
All right, so it's more like, oh, this is where we're going. How can you get there? What do I need to give you to get there? All right, what do you need time? Do you need rest? Do you need understanding? Do you need clarity? What is it you need? All right, and that has helped me to an extent. Obviously, there are some challenges with it, because there are times when you need to be very firm. All right.
Yes.
I can't say I'm the firmest person. Let me be very honest. I'm not a firm leader when it comes to that. But I do know there are times when I'm able to communicate that certain things are critical, and they're able to pick it up and move forward with it. All right. But if there is anything that I'm doing or I'm learning to do also, is to ensure that in my own leadership, I'm enabling you to become your own type of leader. All right. So I have like senior people in my team who I'm trying to see how they can come up with your own leadership style, but this is the goal.
Yes.
All right. You can be firm, you can be creative, you can whatever way you want to get it done.
Whatever works for you.
But this is the goal. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to get. This is the level of excellence we need to achieve. In the words of Debbie. Right. But we have to do it one way or the other. All right. So it's very. I like to see my style as very exemplary. Right? And maybe that's also why I'm a very visual person. So like I can pick things, but I can also show things visually. So it's easy to see that this is where we're going and this is what we need to get done. Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll say mine is quite similar to his, but with a touch of firmness.
Is it a touch?
A splash of firmness, you mean?
Is it a touch?
Guys, we're doing serious business, yeah. So you have to be serious, yeah. But yeah, jokes apart, like I like people to grow into the type of leaders they want to be. I hate micromanaging because I hate to be micromanaged as well. So I like people to like, okay, what do you want? As long as you know what you want, right? That's it for me. You know what you want, right? You know where you want to go to. Okay, fine. How do we like make this happen for you? I like, so I like leading people that, so in terms of, trying to figure things out for themselves. I like it when you figure things out for yourself. And that doesn't mean that you will not get direction. And like I said, you lead by example. I'm always available to to direct you, to guide you. But I want you to have even thought about it first, right? Even before
coming to me.
Coming to me. So I would not to just overflog it. It's quite similar to it. It's like, people, I let people grow into the type of leader that they want to be. I let people own their role. I love ownership. Own your role. Own that particular space and niche that's been given to you. And if you need guidance, definitely dare to guide. And I always love to communicate the goal. So that's where the feminist comes. Like, we are doing serious business here. So while we can laugh and joke, I can also be very steady as well. And
All right.
Okay.
So no missing deadlines, no. Yes. So got that. Debbie with a splash of firmness.
Oh, you added the splash. My face is sprinkle.
Put sprinkle or splash in quotation marks.
All right. Okay, so Deborah, I was thinking I know that it could apply to you, but I was concentrating on you. You've worked on payment, cross-border money, movement, and across, and you've been you've gone into 3 different countries with your cards and
So at the moment, 2 countries.
2 countries,
Nigeria
okay.
and Ghana.
Nigeria and Ghana, okay. But what does we flogged the term financial inclusion. in Africa. We've flogged it for over about a decade now. What does it really look like? Are we really reaching the underserved? Are we building for the underserved? The marginalized really being included? What does that really look like from your point of view?
So at the moment, I would say it's. So I won't say we're not there yet, right? But there's still a lot of gap. You know, everyone is, well, they pride themselves, or most payment companies pride themselves as being financially inclusive, right? But I bet you that there are people right now in Nigeria that do not have BVNs registered to, their names, and they still do not have access to internet, so they can't even access internet, so features or products that require you to use the internet. So I'll say it's not, there's still a gap to be sincere right now, but at the same time, some companies are doing great in that aspect. Like I found out that you could actually purchase your power units via WhatsApp, but that even still requires you to be online. It's still closer than having to download an app, register, and do all that, right? In terms of how we can, or where we are at the moment, most of I think most companies are running away from big expensive problems, actually, because these problems are very expensive. Financial inclusion is very, very expensive. Like, it is actually cheaper to service you and I than to service someone in the village. Right? Because the education, the hand-holding, the onboarding, the tweaking, there's a lot you have to do to get that person to be able to even know what your brand is about, first of all. Then moving on from there to now know how to use your brand, right? So it's an expensive problem. Let me just put it that way. And many of us are, well, many companies, many of us, many companies are running away from that. So I think that's what makes it hard right now. But the truth is, I don't think financial inclusion can be complete without the help of the government, because some of these things are infrastructural. Some of this, for example, if you don't have internet in your village, or you don't have power, it's not my company that come and provide internet and power, right? So some of these things are also infrastructural as well. So companies that have countries that have progressed, let's even use Kenya for example, right, that uses Momo. The likes of did I say Momo? M-Pesa rather. Momo is MTM. M-Pesa. They are able to achieve that because there's already an underlying infrastructure that
they can build on.
Right, that works. So if we can't solve for that, let's not deceive ourselves. We won't fully get there. And it's not necessarily the fault of the private companies. Right? That infrastructure needs to be on ground first before that can happen.
Thank you. I like that. So it has to be a very strong partnership between different stakeholders, the companies, the government, individuals themselves. If not, we'll end up just serving the already served. And including the already included. Yes. Thank you.
Our last guest described it as solving the problems on the way to solving the real problems.
Yes.
Okay. So, Elias, looking at technology in Africa, what evolutions do you see happening in the next few years, especially with regards to your work? You guys are, on the product side. There are lots of AI tools right now that are building and designing, right? How do you see it impacting your field of work within the next 2 to 5 years?
This is an interesting one. I think the first thing I would say is I think work will become or will shift more towards strategy than execution. Right? And the reason for that is because those mundane parts of your work obviously are going to be taken up by tools, AI, and the recent technologies that are coming up, smarter technology. So where does that leave us? To become the brains behind the work, all right? Most times people, for example, look at design. I can say this person is a good designer just by looking at the work he has done and seeing very flashy stuff and beautiful things, all right? But that's no more going to be the case, all right? It's the UX. Let me not go too nerdy, but yeah, that's user experience. Well, it's the thinking behind it. It's the problem it actually solves and the efficiency of the solution. All right, that will become the real meat behind work. All right, and that's all to do with the strategy and the thinking behind it. All right, so we would see less of interviews now will be more around that thinking. Your what to qualify you is no longer going to be your hands-on work or your putting your hands into the on the table.
It's your brain power.
It's now more of how exactly are you thinking about this? What new approaches are you taking to solving this problem? Are you innovative about it? Think about skill. Is this thing, it solves a problem for 2 or 3 people? How does it solve the same problem for 200 people? You know, those kind of things will be the highlight of what work and becoming employable would be.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that, Debbie?
Yes, maybe just one point more. In addition to what you shared, I think it's also be. So he talks about solving, the problem. Like, how would you solve a problem? But I would also add, how would you solve it contextually? Because I'll give an example, right? You go on ChatGPT, for example. You say, "Oh, please, write me a strategy document that solves, let's say, payment in Nigeria." It will do a fairly good job, but not a good job, trust me, because it's not contextual.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of, like I said, strategy, right? How are you thinking about the problem? And that comes from experience.
Yes.
That GPT doesn't have. Right? So that's where your experience, that's where your interaction with people, the data you've gotten from speaking with, Mr. A and Mr. B, learning about their issues, their problems, like all that will come into play. That's where it will manifest, right? So yeah, spot on. About I would also add solving the problem
in context.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like how you guys put it, because these days when the AI tool spills out the answer you asked for, they will tell you that this is just an AI tool. It's not there's a disclaimer,
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we start to round up, very short question. What would you say, still keeping in line of the workplace trends in terms of AI and the future of tech? But what recent workplace trends would you say have helped you build your careers but also build your family units at the same time?
This one is deep. At the end of the day, all right, work has to be valuable, all right? It has to make meaning, has to eventually, there has to be, I know this might not be a great thing to hear, but what's in it for me? All right? How does it help, my situation of things, all right? So I think that one thing that when you're working on a project, one thing you should think of is how can I create, I'll call it convertible value. Can I convert this value to money for me, for example? And that's a bit selfish, but yes. But I'm not just doing this work to solve a problem, right? But how does that problem translate into value
for me,
for either me or my circumstance or my circle or my company or whatever circle I'm working in? All right. And I think, as with most projects or business, that's something to always think about. But there will have to be very creative ways to think about it. All right. You don't. It should not. I like to use the word ethical. It should not be for profit only. All right. But then there should be for profit. All right. There should be for reward. There should be for recompense is not the right word, but there should be for some sort of gain.
Right? Yes.
And
monetary
that's
gain.
what sustains any kind of endeavor.
Okay. Thank you. And Deborah? So it was, what workplace trends have helped you both build your career, build your family unit at the same time?
So we use remote work as like a foundation, and I'll say I love the flexibility of it. It has its pros and its cons, right? Because the truth is that, let's be sincere, there are times where you are not, will I say in the mood, right? But you are low on energy within the 9 to 5
space and window,
right? And I don't want to be measured based on the time I clock in and clock out. I want to be measured based on the results. Like, if I say, oh, I'm going to deliver XYZ in a space of 5 days, right? Measure me based on that, right? That at the end of the week, I gave you the results, whether I did it in the middle of the night or during working hours. So I think it's just the flexibility. And, that has also helped me to kind of embed or improve my lifestyle. So I can wake up and say, I want to go to the gym, right? Because I'm not going to enter a 3-hour traffic.
Yeah,
right?
it's a good
We could not try that
before.
Pre-COVID, where you had to, you're living maybe miles apart and you have to commute to work. You couldn't, and again, when you're coming back, you're also in traffic. You're not thinking about going to the gym, trust me.
You're not.
You just want to eat, rest, shower and sleep. So I think it's that flexibility that, some unnecessaries have been cut off. Cut off, and I can have time for other things. You can wake up in the morning, you can meditate, you're not waking up in the morning to jump on your system, your laptop, if you want to. It's by choice.
Yes,
anyway,
of course, yes.
Right. So them not that. Please, it's by choice, everybody.
It is by choice. Disclaimer.
But
I think one word is just the flexibility actually for me.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me just let's add to that.
Yes.
I think, as always, to take a sane mind to be able to do good job, to good work. All right. I think that because of how fast-paced, how stressful sometimes, and the pace of work these days does not allow people to really take care of the most important aspect of work, which is you.
Yes.
All right. So I think if you prioritize your well-being, you'll be able to prioritize work properly. It's you can't be sick and do good work. That's the honest truth. So, and sickness is not only like bodily; it's even mental. There's the mental part. There is the spiritual part.
Yes.
They're all round. Your well-being all around affects the kind of work you do.
That you do.
So I think that being able to prioritize yourself, not in a selfish way again, but just knowing that it will take me being all right to be able to provide all right work.
Yes.
All right. I think
Awesome. I love it. So
that's so spot on actually. And just to add, like a very practical example, right? Few weeks back, I was under pressure to deliver, something work-wise. And I found myself, waking up in the morning after praying, I'm jumping on my laptop, which was very odd for me. I'm not, I like, so I'm a gym rat. I think I'm getting to that stage where if I don't go to the gym, something is off.
Yes.
And I wasn't doing that. And I'm a morning gym person, right? Because my energy gets lower in the evening. And that week was I just knew something was wrong. I was so stressed that I found myself tearing up. Like, this was just off. And I was like, no, Debbie, you need to get your act. Like, need to recalibrate. This is not the best way. To just buttress his point that talks about taking
your well-being.
Your well-being seriously, because you really cannot produce good work if you're not all right. And I just had to recalibrate. The following week I was like, no, I'm going to the gym first. After praying, washing up and praying, and I felt better. My mood for going forward, was really, really good, and I could.
And your output,
yeah, it showed in the outcome of my work. At the end of the day. So it's important that you have to take care of yourself, to take care of the work.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
True.
Really, I like it. So purpose, meaningful work, convertible value. Also work-life fit in where you explained it, flexible working, and then focus on output and well-being as well. Awesome, thank you
guys so much. Our next question is going to be an agony aunt one from someone in our community, right? And it'll be good to hear what you both think.
Okay.
So this person is saying, I just got offered a big promotion at work, the kind that could fast track my career, but there's a catch. It requires me moving to a new country. I love the role I'm in now, and I've built a strong team and network here. I'm torn between making the leap for growth and staying I'm torn between taking the leap for growth or staying where I'm comfortable and impactful. What would you do?
Comfortable and impactful. Let me let you have this, actually.
I like that.
I was just about to say move.
No, but see, it's not every time you move, my dear people. Yeah, but let me let you have this. I think you're in the best position to answer this, actually.
It's a very interesting position to be in, because there's that you've already built network. All right, a network, it works for you. It's a system that already works. There's support. You understand it. All right, so I can imagine how challenging it will be to break out of that and move to somewhere that is almost like a strange land. And starting over again. All right, but I think the context of it will matter. All right, it's always good to weigh pros and cons for this kind of thing. Yes, you might lose, if you move, you might lose the current network that you have, or will you? Because you can also leverage some of that network. Sometimes growth requires you carrying some of your network properties from a particular location to a different location, right? Building new networks, expanding your territory, in quotes, all right? And just forming a new understanding of the same work that you're doing, right? So it can be a good thing and a bad thing, just the context of it, right? But if what is limiting you is the fear of losing that comfort, I don't think that's that's not a great thing, right? Obviously, you want to break out of that comfort zone, challenge yourself, all right, and move on to something, that could have the impact of, like she said, I don't know if it's a lady or a guy, like the person said, it's a career growth. Obviously, it's a bigger role. It's a more challenging role. There is a lot to learn from it. All right. It's just that it's now in a different country where a whole new set of parameters are in play. So weighing all of that, right? If you're not afraid to take that leap, I think the person should consider it, take it up. And just focus on ensuring that you are growing wherever you get to, right? Because staying back is the same, is same as usual. Same old. You just keep on growing at the pace that you know how to grow in. Same network, everything seems. There'll be a time when you get tired of that, and you might have lost the opportunity to have explored something else.
Yeah, that's so true. Anything you want to add?
Yeah. So maybe a caveat kind of would be if the person's current company is a good company, an emphasis on good, because we don't have lots of good companies out there, and I'm talking about the culture of the company. I would say, so the person should wait, right, in terms of what would I give for this?
Mm-hmm.
If that place is a good company, you've laid your foundation, you have built your team. I heard that they've built their team,
Yes.
right? You should be willing to. A lot would give for that. You would, like the person would give a lot for that. And I would say based on experience, sometimes moving from companies to companies is not necessarily career growth. What we term as career growth might not be career growth. And I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. So I would say that if you found yourself in a really, really good company that doesn't really necessarily care about not only about the work but you as a person,
individual,
I don't think you should let that go, in my opinion, because it's very, very hard to find companies these days that go beyond the work that you do to even looking at you as a person.
That's true. That is true.
So yeah, the person should just
weigh the options
weigh their
properly.
options. Yeah.
This makes me want to ask one more question.
Yes.
Okay.
What should businesses be doing these days to keep people longer? Because someone resigned recently and I asked them, why are you leaving? And she said, I've been here 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, that was her reason. I've been here for so long. So what should businesses be doing to keep people longer? I mean, and I think for Elias, because you've been, you've stayed at Cora for 7 years, it seems like it's
good.
not a common thing.
You're doing something good.
Funny enough, there are two things that we in the management circle we know. All right. First of all, we're not afraid of people leaving. In fact, we don't see it as a bad thing when people leave. All right. What we ensure to do is that if you're going to leave, all right, it is going to be like sometimes we even support people that leave in a way that they get to a much better space, much better place, and are able to take what they've learned from where they were at our company and use it. All right. So that's the first foundation of it. Like when we're confident, or when we're invested enough in ensuring that whatever decision you make, it is the best for your career, and we are sure that we are able to give that kind of investment. Right? People tend to go higher, whether they stay or whether they leave. Right? But there's the second side to it, and which is the more important one, is that I think our CEO Dixon used to say something very often. He says that like our number one product is you. It's not really what we're selling. It's not our solution. It's not the apps we're building. It's really all of that is peripheral. The real thing is you. So we're going to do everything to make sure that you are. I don't want to use the word comfortable, but it can be interpreted as comfortable enough, all right, to be able to produce what we eventually will sell to people. And it doesn't only translate in salary or anything. It's just ensuring that you have that peace of mind and security to know that this company has my back. All right. So I'm going to give it my all. And when I'm ready to grow, let's assume that I have grown bigger than the company. It's like my growth plans are beyond what the company is. It's obvious. People leave, and it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, yeah.
We're like we're your number one fans wherever you're going to. All right. Anytime you want to come back and come and party with us, please come. All right. So it's really not a problem, right? But we just make sure that as an employee that you are our number one priority as a company. All right. And once that is in place, we see that there's a lot of like people have. I know a lot of people, even my team, that have requests or people are trying to poach them or things like that. But they always come back to me and be like, "Oh, see that this person has reached out to me, or somebody said this to me," and all. And I'm like, "What do you think? Let me just hear." And they're like, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to go." And sometimes we ask why, and it's more like, I think even though they are going to pay us better there is a kind of security I have here.
Yeah.
All right. And if there's something I have here that I'm not sure I can get elsewhere. All right. and that's one way we
And I can
keep it.
attest
Awesome.
to that actually.
Mhm.
I can really attest to that. I tell people that, like I said, we don't have lots of good companies, but I can say that Cora is one of like that good, not good, great company. I must say that actually, like they go beyond just looking at the work that you do to looking at you as a person, and like I said, that security, that safety, you will definitely get it at Cora. So I can attest to
What he say?
It's
I was about to say.
it's glaring. It's so obvious. Like I don't work with the company, but it's super obvious. Like you can't hide something that is good.
Yes, I like that. Okay.
Alright.
Awesome. So I think our last question for today is the more playful one, the one book, one song, one movie. So it will be good to hear your choices and why. And so we'll start. I know that I think we'll start with you, Deborah. So one book.
One book. Okay, maybe one book would be the one I read recently, which is The Power of the Positive Mindset.
Power of Positive Mindset. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like it, yes. And yeah, I think it's very explanatory why you like it, right? Okay. And one song?
One song. Okay, maybe Count My Blessings. Like, it just keeps...
Count My Blessings.
Yeah.
Who's that by?
Is it Benjamin's song? Oh, God.
Okay, Count My Blessings.
Count My
Go on.
Blessings. Is it Benjamin?
I think the one that Onos remixed.
So the one that was remixed was the original.
Okay,
songwriter.
Count My Blessings.
Yeah.
Wow, and one movie.
Big Bang Theory.
Really? So like the entire series, just
the entire series. I can watch that multiple times.
wow, that's good. That's the first here in the series. I like that. Okay, so Elias, you one book?
I haven't read many books in my life, but there's this one book that I read recently. Why should anybody be led by you?
Oh wow!
Why should
very
anyone be led by you?
That's very
That's the book.
direct. Why should anyone be led?
If
I
you
love
read
it.
that book,
Can't forget the
goodness,
name.
you will.
Why should anyone be led by you? Good. Yes, explained. Okay, and one song.
Controversial. The name of the song is Oblivious.
Please, why is it controversial?
And it's by
Oblivious.
John Bellion. It's just very,
wow.
I mean, it's secular, but it's a song that, I mean, the album. Sorry, let me not go too much into details. The name of the album is Father Figure. It's a recent album.
Okay.
He's just talking about like him being a father and expectations of him and all. But the particular song Oblivious, I think the reason why it sticks is because I listened to it on our last flight back from UK. I listened to it on repeat throughout the flight.
Oh wow!
Yes, it was just on repeat. It was just basically him talking about if. I think he was just trying to explain that people don't really know what love is per se, right? But I don't mind being oblivious about it, right? But I'm still going to express or experience it. Something like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Right,
That's
so
nice.
It's just
That's nice. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to go and try and listen to it. Yes, and one movie.
Weird movie. There's this Modern Family.
Yes, okay, series. You for a family of series, right?
Oh, no, we binge on.
We binge on.
series.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And earlier when I was telling you about this one that we have introduced now, Deborah had said, we don't have our own song. What's our own song? Or she said, are you picking a song that isn't ours?
What is our own song that I know?
Good.
I like that.
It's a trap for me.
So what is our own song that I know? Elias, over to you.
There's this song by Tatiana Manoas. You know this song?
You got it.
I got it.
I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's I Can't Help
Yeah,
Loving
wise
You.
men.
That's Wise Men.
Say,
I
okay.
Can't Help Falling in
Oh, okay,
Love.
so
It was actually, I think Elvis Presley.
Yeah,
One
so
of-
sang it.
But we like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I've sang it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely
Oh, awesome.
So it's
That's
actually
good.
very-
Okay, so 1 point to you, Elias, yeah?
Yeah,
You didn't fall into this trap. You've done well.
Scanning through my memory.
Saying, how do I not get into it?
On the same page.
I like you are on the same page, we decree. Literally. Okay.
All right.
On that note.
It's been a very good conversation.
It has. It has.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of OnPeople. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Deborah and Elias as much as we did. Don't forget to subscribe and listen on your favorite podcast platforms. To keep the conversation going, drop comments and questions on our social media handles. Until next time, bye for now.